My wife looked at me and said, "I need some space." For words, plain and almost gentle, but they hit me like an explosion inside my chest. We were in the kitchen, the low hum of the fridge filling the gap between us. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Her fingers clung to a coffee mug she never drank from. Her voice was calm but detached, like a line she had practiced until it lost all feeling. "I need space." I stood there frozen, car keys digging into my palm, waiting for something else, a smile, a laugh, some sign she didn't mean it. But there was nothing. No hug, no reassurance, just silence. And that silence was deafening. Something inside me cracked. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of vows, and suddenly I felt like a stranger in my own home, someone she couldn't wait to push away. I pulled on my jacket, shoved my wallet into my pocket, and walked toward the door. With my hand on the handle, I muttered, "Fine. You want space? You'll have it." I didn't know where I was heading. Maybe I just needed the night air on my face to remind myself I was still alive. My chest was tight, my throat burning, my mind spinning with one question. How did we end up here? That's when I heard it, a voice behind me. "Don't go alone." I froze. Slowly, I turned and saw her, Anna, my wife's best friend. She had stopped by earlier, dropped something off, and must have stayed to talk. Now she stood in the hallway, her eyes steady on mine, her voice soft but firm. "Don't go alone," she repeated. For a moment, I couldn't even respond. This was Anna, the woman who had been there at our dinners, our trips, our celebrations. She wasn't supposed to be part of this. But she looked at me not as her best friend husband, but as a man on the edge. I let out a bitter laugh. What else am I supposed to do? She doesn't want me around. Anna's expression shifted, part sympathy, part frustration. She doesn't know what she wants. "But I know you shouldn't be out there by yourself tonight." Something about the way she said it, gentle but steady, felt less like an offer company and more like a lifeline. So I nodded. We ended up in a little cafe a few blocks away, the kind that stays open late for people who can't face going home. We sat by the window, the glow of streetlights spilling across the table. I ordered coffee I never touched. Anna didn't press me to talk. She just sat there, letting the silence breathe, until I finally whispered, "She doesn't love me anymore." Anna didn't rush to deny it or hand me false hope. She simply said, "Maybe, or maybe she's just lost. Either way, it's not your fault." Those words broke something loose inside me. For weeks, maybe months, I've been carrying the weight of blame. If only I'd been more attentive, more successful, more romantic, maybe she wouldn't be drifting away. But Anna's words cut through that fog. We talked for hours about marriage, choices, how love sometimes fades so quietly you don't notice until it's gone. Anna admitted she had watched my wife slipping away for a long time, but never said anything because it wasn't her place. Then she added softly, "I never thought she deserved you." The cafe eventually emptied around us. When we left, it was close to midnight. She offered to walk me back, but I shook my head. "I can't go back in there. Not tonight." Anna hesitated, then said, "Then come with me." We drove in silence. Her apartment was small, cozy, filled with books and photographs. She poured me a glass of water and handed it to me like it was the most natural thing. That night, I slept on her couch. Not because anything happened, but because I couldn't bear to go back to my wife's empty words. In the morning, I woke to the smell of coffee and the sound of Anna humming in the kitchen. For the first time in weeks, I felt steady. Over the next few days, I found myself talking to her more. She didn't try to fix me. She didn't say it would all work out. She just listened. She reminded me I was more than my wife's indecision. But the more we spoke, the more I realized the truth. My wife hadn't been confused. She knew exactly what she wanted. It just wasn't me. One night, Anna finally confirmed it. She looked me in the eye and said, "She's been seeing someone else." The air rushed out my lungs. I asked how she knew, and after a pause, she admitted she had seen herself. Secret dinners, private meetings, the kind of closeness you can't mistake for friendship. She had stayed silent because she didn't want to be the one to break my marriage. But the truth was, it had already been broken, and hearing it didn't crush me the way I thought it would. Instead, it freed me. My wife's space wasn't about healing. It was about running towards someone else. Suddenly, I wasn't the weak one anymore. She was. So the next time she tried to talk, I didn't fall apart. I didn't beg. I simply said, "You wanted space. Now you'll have all the space you need without me." She tried to backpedal. She cried, said she made a mistake. But I was done, because while she was chasing freedom, I had found something better, clarity. And through it all, Anna had been there, not as a replacement, but as proof that respect, loyalty, and honesty still exist. Looking back, what stays with me isn't my wife's betrayal. It's Anna's words at night as I reach the door, "Don't go alone," because she was right. I didn't. I stepped into a new chapter stronger, clearer, and finally free. Not because my wife gave me space, but because I claimed it for myself.